guys, it is your girl Jade Ashley, and I want to welcome you back to an all new video of When the Beat Drops. It's literally been 4 months since the last video of When the Beat Drops, so if you're interested in hearing my 5 hot beats in music of this week, then of course you know you got to stay tuned for more. Okay guys, so let's dive into this week's beats. So my first beat of this week, I have to talk about Miss Latto. So she just dropped her new album 777, and it's literally, I want to say, the talk of this weekend so far, because as I'm recording this is Sunday. Her album dropped on Friday, and y'all know what I do. I was working and I had went on Twitter and I seen that the album was trending, and a lot of people was talking about it. A lot of people said that they were surprised to think that she kind of gave like a really good body of work from start to finish. A lot of people who were already fans weren't surprised. There was people quoting her, so I was definitely excited to listen to the full body of work within itself. It was definitely a lot of hype surrounding the album before release when she dropped the full track list on Monday, because there was like features and talks about like who happened, what, when, like, so it was just like a lot. So I just kind of want to quickly go through the album. I won't talk about every song in detail just because, you know, I'm still, you know, filling the album out, but for the most part, I definitely do think that is a solid body of work. I've listened to it more than one time straight through as an album, so we're just gonna go through it. So the first 2 tracks are actually the title track 777, part 1 and part 2. Now, I first became aware of Latto around the time that she had the Gucci song that she sampled, and then also like Bitch from the South. So I think that's like a good 2019, like before the pandemic hit. So I did actually like her. I was like, okay, like, you know, this girl can rap. You know, a lot of people are familiar with her from the rap game. I never watched that show, so I wasn't familiar with her from that show. So like, to me, this was like a brand new artist, my first time hearing and seeing about this girl. And I definitely think that she was doing her thing for sure. I did listen to some of the songs on her last project, which I think was like Queen of the South and, you know, stuff like that. That's when she was Mulatto, and like this is like her first full project like under Latto and stuff like that. So I've been rocking with her. I definitely think she's dope lyrically, and I think she showed her lyricism without a doubt. That's when she was really talking her shit on this album, 777 part 1 and part 2. I know she also just released the visual for it, and it's just pretty much a lot of footage of her like on tour, when she's doing a radio show, when she's in rehearsals, you know, just kind of like stuff like that. Her showing her on her grind, and the visual kind of matches with what she was saying on the first and second tracks, where she was just pretty much popping her shit, and that was just that. So I definitely did appreciate that, you know, those first 2 records as like the intro and stuff like that, because she kind of like came out hard. Now, the third record is Willie. So Willie was a song that she first, you know, previewed on TikTok. She did like the record, or she did like a video with her friends and stuff like that. It started going around, and eventually she announced that the record would be dropping. She hinted that she had like a special feature. She did like this whole thing where she was like throwing out hints, and people were saying who they thought it was, and it actually turned out to be 21 Savage. 21 is definitely somebody she's been rumored to date, or, you know, I don't know. Was in, or still is in, a relationship. She was so in love. He was the one, all of this other stuff, and people was trying to figure out who it was. It was either between Key Glock, who I think is actually really cute, Key Glock, and 21 Savage. Didn't turn out to be Key Glock. With 21, ironically, they would always be like on like vacation at the same time, and like people would try to like match up, you know, settings and stuff like that to kind of like put 2 and 2 together. But to this day, it ain't confirmed. But if they are dating, they're doing a hell of a job at throwing people off, because it's like literally, if they were to be dating and they didn't confirm it, but yet they sat there and they, you know, featured on the record together, and they did like the whole music video. I thought the music video was going to give something away, but it didn't. But needless to say, it's definitely a dope record, a dope visual and stuff like that, and I like it, and the song is just continuing to get bigger and bigger. Other than that, we got Big Energy. Big Energy obviously is her current like really big radio record. I remember that dropping towards the end of last year. I remember when Kamara and I went to DC, she just kept on talking about how much she liked the record, and the record only just got bigger and bigger. Latto did just announce that, or the same day that the album dropped, she announced that the Big Energy remix features Mariah Carey. And I feel like that's only right. Like, a lot of people were kind of like guessing, and they was like, I saw people saying, oh, it gotta be Nicki and Lil Wayne, because when she did the track listing, she actually covered like the featured part, and she said that it would be releasing on a different day. But it's Mariah Carey. I feel like it's perfect. Like, she sampled a Mariah Carey song for the record, so it's only right that she got Mariah. And you know, Mariah, she one of them artists, she don't hand out features, so the fact that she got that Mariah Carey feature for a Mariah Carey song that she sampled, and it's like a really big record, I think it's gonna be dope, and I'm excited to see what that remix is like. Other than that, one of my favorite songs is her record Sunshine, featuring Lil Wayne and Childish Gambino. Now, this is what I was saying, or what I was thinking when I was like, okay, it's like she's showing a different side of herself as far as like a different side of her artistry, because I kind of feel like there's records on this songs where on this project, there's records on this project where she was like, you know, singing, and I was like, okay, so she should be singing out here too. But Sunshine is definitely a feel-good song. You know, sunshine on me, sunshine on me. Like, I like that song. Like, that's definitely probably my favorite of the songs so far on this album. Her record Like a Thug featuring Dirk, that's like a vibe within itself. I feel like anything with Dirk is like literally a vibe. Like, he's just like one of those artists of this generation where he can be hardcore and do his stuff, but also at the same time he can feature with any other artist, whether it's a rap artist, a singer, and like he just fits in. So like, he's just like one of those right now. So the record with her and Dirk is definitely dope, without a doubt. She got her song It's Given. I think that's cool. Saucy Santana, he is featured at the end of the record, where he's just pretty much, you know, talking and, you know, talking his shit and being, you know, Santana and stuff like that. I would love to have, you know, him like actually featured on the record, because when you look at the track list, it just says It's Given. It doesn't say so featuring Saucy Santana. So for him to have like a verse, because, you know, Santana's really doing his thing as well. But that's not to say that her and Santana won't be coming out with something, because I know Santana is actually on tour with her right now. So I think there's probably more to it. We just might have to wait to see what, you know, it's gonna give, right? But other than that, Stepper featuring Nado Wick is definitely another hard record. There's a lot of girls that I'm seeing that's in relationships that's actually quoting that record, because it's something about he gonna die by his bitch, or he gonna step behind his bitch, or something like that. I don't know, but it's definitely turning out to be a favorite as well. She has a record called Trust No Bitch at number 9, and then record number 10 is Bust Down. Bust Down is another favorite of mine, and I absolutely love the music behind that. Now, I don't want to call it controversy, but the conversation behind this is Latto, she's been doing a lot of promo, and during her press run, she was on a Big Boy show, and she just pretty much was kind of like honest, and she just was like, you know what, I'm just, you know, be open about it. And she was just saying that, you know, she had a hard time with kind of like turning her album, like the finalized version of her album, because there was one rapper who was giving her a hard time as far as like, you know, clearing the record. And she was just like, I'm just be honest, it's some of these rappers out here, like, you hit them in a DM because you want to work, but they don't want to keep the business. They be trying to, like, you know, mess with you or whatever the case may be. So once the track listing dropped on Monday, a lot of people thought that was Kodak, because, you know, Kodak, he be out here saying a lot of crazy things. So, you know, she didn't want to name a rapper, but the way he be acting, it sounded, and, you know, it kind of seemed like he could have fit the description, because I know when he did his interview with the Breakfast Club, he pretty much just said, you know, if he's going to work with a female, you know, artist, he's expecting to sleep with her and all this other stuff. Meanwhile, he be having babies here and there, and then, you know, there'd be a lot going on with him. But even before the album dropped, he said that he wasn't the rapper, and Latto's not saying who the rapper is, so it's a mystery. But needless to say, Bust Down, that was one of those songs where it was like love at first listen, just off the strength of the music alone. I was like, this is a vibe. And yeah, so Bust Down is a vibe, and I'm really feeling that record for sure. She got the Southside record. Southside is, I think, one of the records that I talked about in my last video when the beat dropped from 4 months ago. She dropped the music video, and it's just real hard representing for the Southside of whatever part of the Georgia, because according to what is it, Almaretta, where Clayco County, that's not Atlanta, whatever, but whatever the South Side part is in Georgia, she repping it. And, you know, I like the record. I've been told y'all that. Other than that, she got a song called Sleep Sleep. I'm trying to get into that one. I know she said something Latto said something on Twitter the day that the album came out. She was just like, oh, I didn't expect y'all to like sleep. But I kind of feel like I can eventually hear me, if I hear it more enough, that I can definitely hear me like getting hooked on that for sure. And then the last record is a real one. But needless to say, I do think it's definitely a solid body of work. I think it's really dope. Yeah, I like it. So if you checked out Latto's new album 777, definitely let me know your thoughts and comment below. Hey guys, so let's move on to the second beat of this week. And for my second beat of this week, I was definitely so excited to see the music video for this record because it's one of my favorite records. And I'm talking about Summer Walker's No Love, which originally features SZA, but she released the music video for like the extended version, which has Cardi B on it. And I absolutely love the visual. If not Summer's best visual so far. So first and foremost, No Love, when I say like I have like my R&B playlist, and like instantly when Still Over It came out, No Love was definitely one of the records that I had to add to that playlist. That's literally how much I like really love that song. So for her and SZA to be on the record was already dope and stuff like that. But then to add Cardi like onto it, that was definitely an unexpected surprise. Obviously they announced it prior to dropping, you know, the video and stuff like that. But, you know, Cardi, it starts off with Cardi, and I think her position in the song definitely was perfect just because we've already kind of like familiarized ourselves with the song where it's just Summer and SZA. So just to have Cardi kind of just like started off and stuff like that, I think like her position in the record was really cool. Like a good fit on how they, you know, started with something new and then took us to what we know and what we've been singing for months since the album came out. But overall, I love the video. I think the visuals is dope. Cardi was bringing out some type of vocals, I guess we know she had, that she gave us, you know, a few bars and stuff like that, and it was really cool. She looked great and stuff. Then Summer looked really good. One thing I liked, or one of my favorite scenes, was actually the pole work, and I say that because if you follow Summer for a while, and she doesn't post this now, but she actually like used to, you know, do like pole work. Not to say like she was like a stripper or whatever, but like pole dancing, like that's a art within itself. I'm sure that's a hell of a workout. And, you know, Summer, she used to do like her little pole dancing, and she would like post the videos on social media. I'm sure like you can probably Google it and you'll see it. So, you know, Summer knows how to like work a pole. So it was just like her and SZA. It was just like really sexy. Just, they look great. They look bomb. Like they look really great. And then another thing that I liked about the music video is that they had Summer doing choreography. I don't think I've ever seen Summer dance, but they had Summer with the dancers doing the choreography. Like literally I've seen Summer in concert twice so far. Definitely earlier on in her career, and then after Over It had dropped. So like if you've ever seen Summer on stage, Summer, she got a seat, she sit, sometimes she got the guitar, she'll walk from one end of the stage to the next, to the front, to the back, and that's literally how like Summer like works the stage when she does her performances. So to see her actually doing like actual choreography and dancing and stuff was definitely something completely different, something I've never seen Summer do. But overall, I believe the visuals, the colors, I love how I don't know if this was like intentional, but you know, it kind of like gave like different seasons and stuff. So like, you know, Summer, obviously Summer, you know, she had like the red, and she was standing in like front of the sun and stuff like that. SZA, she kind of had like the wintry type of vibe and stuff. And then like Cardi, because she was like in the field with the flowers and whatnot, it just kind of looked like maybe spring, and you know, in springtime. Like I think just everything about the visuals like executed perfectly. Like I believe the last time I checked was like #1 trending in music on YouTube. So I think a lot of fans like appreciated the actual visual within itself. But if you checked out Summer Walker's music video for No Love featuring Cardi B and SZA, let me know your thoughts on it. Comment below and let me know your thoughts on the music video. Other than that, we're going to move on to my third beat of this week. And this one was definitely a surprise. And that is Nicki Minaj featuring Fivio with We Go Up. So just a backstory for those who may or may not know, but I'm sure you guys probably know. So last weekend, actually, Nicki, and I was working at this time, so this is exactly why I know every detail of the situation. She went live on Instagram, and pretty much at the time when she was live, she was in a studio, she was with Big Fendi, and she was like, I was playing Fendi this record. I told him I scrapped it from the album. So y'all, an album is on the way. But she was like, I scrapped this record from my album, and he told me that I was bugging. Like, I need to, like, I guess, like, put it back on the album and stuff like that. So after she let him know, she was like, I'm gonna put it on my page, and y'all, like, let me know. So she just recorded a video of herself, and it was like playing in the background and stuff like that. Now, I will admit, when I first heard it, it's not that I thought it was bad, I just didn't understand it. Like, she was like, this week, Rari, next week, Lambo. She talked about the state funeral service. Like, it was just like, she was like saying words and then words that match with it. So I was kind of confused at first. I know everybody liked the, you got surgery and you still ugly or something like that. That type of line. Like, it was just like she was just saying lines, so I didn't really understand it. However, she just it was like a random drop. Like, it was a Friday, and she was just like, oh, guess what? I just dropped the record. And the record that she supposedly scrapped, featured Fivio Foreign. She dropped it, and when I heard the final beat, how everything just flowed together, and then how Fivio came in, and I was like, okay, so this is supposed to be kind of like a drill record, and I was like, it makes sense, like, literally. So, like, people like literally been listening to it, like quoting it. I think she already got merch that got like different lines from her verses like on it already. Like, it just kind of just works. Like, I don't understand how to explain it, but for whatever reason, when Nicki does something, it just like literally, it just works. Like, it works. She comes up with new words, and it just works, you know. Ever since she dropped We Got a Problem, I don't call it the pandemic no more. I call it the pandemic. We in a pandemic. Thanks to Nicki for giving us some new vocabulary. That's all it is. So it's like everything she does stick. And then, like, literally, she was still the talker last week because, you know, she hopped on a record, the Blick Blick, with Coi Leray, and helped Coi get her first #1. So I like the record. It's New York, you know. Anything with me, anything New York, I'm with it. So that We Go Up, that was Queens and Brooklyn, and the record was just like dope, and I just liked it. Like, I didn't understand it at first, but once I heard the final version, I was like, okay, I get it now. Like, I get it. I really fuck with the record. So I really do like it. I'm not exactly sure if they'll ever come out with a visual with it. Because like she said before, it was actually a record that she scrapped. And maybe she's just giving us stuff just because of the response. And people were saying, like, not to scrap it and stuff like that. But if you heard Nicki and Fivio Foreign's new record, We Go Up, definitely comment below and let me know what you thought about that record. So, yeah. We are going to move on to my fourth beat of this week. And for my fourth beat of this week, I want to kind of take it back. I definitely want to talk about this because, like, I was, like, in good spirits. So on Friday marked the 25th anniversary since the release of Biggie's second album, Life After Death. So obviously, if you know your hip-hop history and stuff like that, Biggie completed his second album, was out promoting, and even if you watch Notorious, but he was promoting his album and was killed before his album dropped. So by the time the album dropped, he was dead, unfortunately. So it's kind of just like the life after death and him actually dying. Like, you know, it just, the first album was ready to die. Like, it was just, conspiracy theorists probably had a hell of a time coming up with conspiracies, you know, surrounding song titles and all this other stuff. But Life After Death is definitely a classic, and I was reminded on Friday, just because I had actually put a post together just to kind of like commemorate the 25th anniversary of the album and stuff like that. Obviously, it's like so many classic records from it, but then there's like records that wasn't singles that's classics. So if that makes any type of sense. So I actually listened to the project on Friday, and I was like, I remember that song. I remember this song. Oh wait, I remember this song too. I was like, damn, I ain't hear this song in a long time. And the funny thing about it is the album came out in 97. In 97, I was 3 years old. So by the time the album came out, I just turned 3. So I turned 3 the month before. So shout out to my dad, because I definitely remember listening to that album when I was in the car with him, and for whatever reason, it's like, you know how like when you just hear like the first couple of seconds of a song and then you start singing it, like you just know the record. So it's like I was listening to the album on Friday, you know, because it was the 25th anniversary and stuff like that, and I was like, ooh, ain't this that song? Like, and yeah, like it's just so great growing up cultured, growing up like knowing and loving hip hop and stuff like that, because like these records are like the same age as me, but I just know. I just really just know. And it was like a really good album. Like 10 Crack Commandments, my favorite. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of like mention that, commemorate, and, you know, talk about, you know, Ready to Die, 25 years. It's hard to believe 25 years, you know, like I said, I was 3 at the time. I just turned 28. So, definitely makes me feel old, but also it makes me feel proud to know that I know my shit when it comes to hip hop, when it comes to music and stuff like that. So yeah. But other than that, we are going to move on to my last beat, fifth beat of this week. I want to talk about Jay Prince, founder of Rap A Lot Records, legendary. He pretty much put out a message this week. He took to social media. He used a headline. This is a headline related to Kanye West. There's been a lot going on with Kanye. He's been pretty quiet for the past week though. But pretty much he was calling on artists such as Kanye, Nicki Minaj, Drake, The Weeknd, and he was just, you know, saying, y'all should boycott the Grammys. Like, boycott the Grammys because the Grammys are not for the culture. They feel like they can say and do a lot to dictate, you know, the culture and stuff like that. And was like, you guys should, you know, put on a concert, do a show at the same exact time that the Grammys will be airing, and kind of just take their viewership away. And there were a couple of artists, obviously, that agreed. One being Nicki, because she did comment on his post and she said respect. Now, what I will say is that the Grammys, they don't respect Nicki. Because Nicki, she definitely should have had a Grammy by now, without a doubt. And one thing I could say, that Recording Academy, you can't tell me that they don't respect that lady, because they really don't. And that's sad. But, she doesn't really seem to be bothered by it. I know there's been a lot of, you know, talk about the Grammys over the years, based on who's a part of the, what is it? How do you describe it? Like the elite group of people, I guess, who kind of like are a part of the Academy, like who helps to determine what's what, I guess. I don't know. But, yeah. So long story short, it's this thing where, or this movement, I guess you can say, where it's just kind of like, it's like F the Grammys, the Grammys is out, or whatever the case may be. I will say, however, the conversation about like hip hop artists, like not really, I don't want to say respecting, but not really, you know, holding the Grammys as such a higher stature has happened in the past. I always kind of like go back to, I think the first rapper to ever get a Grammy Award was Will Smith for Parents Just Don't Understand. I guess it was like Best Hip Hop Song or some shit like that. And he wasn't even there to accept his Grammy. Well, first of all, his category wasn't televised, but he wasn't even at the Grammys. He won the first Grammy. I believe the day of, it was artists like him, Snoop, like the artists that were popular within that era in the 90s and stuff like that. They like boycotted the Grammys. So this is not the first time that hip hop artists, or if they do boycott, this is not the first time that hip hop artists have boycotted the Grammys. It's definitely happened before. The Grammys have been called out plenty of times for their lack of, whether it's black artists, hip hop in general and stuff like that. Hell, I remember when they chose Macklemore to win over Kendrick Lamar. You know, that wasn't that long ago. Eventually, you know, Kendrick Lamar got his just due. Hell, last year, Nas, the legend himself, Nas, he literally just got his first Grammy last year, for his project. What was it? King's Disease. He literally just got a Grammy, literally. As long as Nas has been doing this, and this man just got a Grammy. So, yeah, there's been always talks about the Grammys kind of like not being held at such a higher stature, because you know it's always called music's biggest night. To many artists, like the highest achievement in the field is to, you know, win a Grammy, and a lot of people are starting to like agree, and I guess this is kind of like a new wave or a new movement of boycotting the Grammys. Will we know how it turns out? We won't know until next weekend when the actual Grammys happens, to see who's there, who's not there, to see what else may be going on at the same time. I personally haven't really watched the actual Grammy Awards since like 2018, I believe that was. And that was actually when the Grammys was here in New York. And at that time, I was in school working full time. And, you know, the Grammys is always in LA. This year's in Las Vegas because it had to get postponed. But the Grammys is never really in New York. So I definitely wanted to take advantage of whatever I could as far as like event wise. So I did like ASCAP that week, and I worked the night of the Grammys. So I was watching like the actual Grammy Awards, and I went to Alessia Cara's Grammy after party. So I was able to, you know, indulge in some Grammy festivities at that time when it was here in New York. And then like it's been in LA ever since. I know the year after 2019, that was the same time or that same weekend is when we went to Vegas that first time. So I definitely wasn't worried about no Grammys watching it and stuff. But yeah, we'll just have to see, like, if they're gonna like kind of take up his, you know, proposal as far as like performing at the same time as the Grammys and like boycotting and stuff like that. We just really would have to see how that goes. And I am watching. I'm watching to see exactly how that goes, but definitely let me know your thoughts on Jay Prince's proposal as far as like artists, you know, boycotting the Grammys. Do you agree? Y'all know my favorite award show every year is the Soul Train Awards. So the Soul Train Awards, BET Awards, I always say with these, you know, rooms and stuff like that, basically just go to the rooms that you're more so celebrated. So we boycotting the Grammys. Show more love to BET. Show more love to Soul Train. Show more love to the award shows, NAACP. Like, show more love to, you know, the award shows that's catered to us, that's catered to our genre, that's catered to our music history. And that's my thought on the situation. But other than that, those are my 5 hot beats of this week. Okay, guys, so I want to thank you for tuning into this week's video. And of course, you know, I have to end every single video by reminding you guys to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It would greatly be appreciated. Now, y'all know I cannot end this video without giving y'all my song of the week. And like I said, I'm absolutely loving Latto's new album. So I feel like it's only right that I make my song of the week her song Sunshine featuring Lil Wayne and Childish Gambino. Once again, I thank y'all for tuning in, and I will check y'all next time. So bye. Hey guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to share and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.